What's up guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk a little bit about songwriting and little things that I've used along the years and personal experience to improve songwriting and make your songwriting just a little bit better, a little bit more creative, especially if you're new to songwriting. Let's jump into it straight away. The first thing is keep things simple, and I know this sounds kind of ridiculous, especially if you play certain genres or styles of music, such as jazz or progressive metal, which are meant to be complex. They're not really meant to be simple. But what I really mean by this is consider the song as a whole, okay? So if that means you need to take away a riff or take away a few notes or simplify a chord progression, simplify a riff, change the structure or the order of things a little bit to make that song sound better as a whole, no matter what style or genre of music that you're writing, in my eyes, in my mind, that means that you're keeping it somewhat simple and not ridiculously complex, because if you made it ridiculously complex, people aren't really going to be interested or listen in the first place. And that goes for pretty much all genres of music, in my opinion, even tech death or whatever it might be. There's a certain structure and a certain kind of flow that those songs have, and it works. So that's the first thing I just want to talk about, is keeping things simple and consider the song as a whole. The second thing is returning melodies. So just like a song has a chorus which returns, which is the hook, which grabs your attention, which sticks in your head, something that I've noticed has been really effective and really helped along the way with songwriting is returning melodies. So that could be like a melody riff, a melody itself, or a vocal melody, just some kind of melody on whichever instrument it may be, and return that and use that to your advantage to kind of sprinkle that across the song as a whole, and that'll grab people's attention just like a chorus would or a guitar solo would, those small little details such as returning melodies. Number 3 is don't be afraid to make changes. So although you might have a fully written song with your band and you think, okay, that's done, that's complete, I'll leave that, I'll move on. That doesn't necessarily mean that you have to say, okay, this is done, I have to move on now, let's do the next song, whatever it may be. The option is always there to come back to the song and change a riff or change a slight, switch around a verse and a chorus or change a little lyric here or there. Whatever it may be, that's going to improve the song as a whole. Something that's worked for me in the past, especially while writing music while recording, because that's how I tend to do it. I tend to record things as I write music, and that is write or record something and come back to it a few days or a week later and see if you still like it or see if you want to change anything, because that way it gives you time to come back to something and decide if you want to change your mind or not. And then don't be afraid to make those changes, even if the song is fully finished. Even if you're about to play a gig or you need to play a gig, it doesn't matter. You can still come back to it before or after the gig and sort it out and finish it. Until that song is fully recorded, fully mixed, mastered and released, you can do whatever you can and want with it. Number 4 is direction. So I feel like you should always kind of choose a path and stick with it. Choose a direction, a style, a genre, whatever it may be, and work your songwriting, your piece of music, your song around that. Again, I'm fully well aware that in genres such as progressive metal, which I just so happen to write, you can kind of do whatever you want and you can change direction in an instant, halfway through the song, and go from a metal song to a jazz song, and it's fine because it's progressive music, no one cares. But realistically, in the long term, in the bigger picture, once again, because we're looking at the bigger picture here, is if you want people to resonate with your songs, if you want people to click with your songs, especially if you're a newcomer, a new band, whatever it may be, I would always kind of suggest sticking with a certain direction, a certain path. It doesn't mean you can't stray from that a little bit, just not too much, because you'll lose the attention, you'll lose the interest. Just stick with a certain style, a certain genre, a certain vibe, a certain atmosphere, whatever it is that the song or the piece of music is creating. Number 5, which is the final thing, is always think of the bigger picture. No matter what you're doing while songwriting, writing any kind of pieces of music, always think of the bigger picture. Think of what that song's going to sound like as a whole, what the finished product should sound like. Are people going to connect with it, resonate with it? Is it too complex? Is it too simple? All of those things, just analyze the situation and think of the bigger picture. You want it to sound the best it's possibly going to sound, and that way all the things I've talked about in this video, you're gonna have to consider and think about and come back to. So just make sure you use the methods and the hints and the tips from this video, write the best songs that you possibly can, keep things simple, change things, stick with a certain direction, and just enjoy doing it and release it for the people that enjoy listening to it. That's been my kind of helps and tips on this situation. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.